2021, the Virginia General Assembly must create new congressional and state legislative districting maps. During the last legislative session, 3 anti-gerrymandering measures aimed at creating a fairer, more competitive electoral process passed the Senate with bipartisan support. However, it died in a House of Delegates subcommittee. What are your thoughts on redistricting reform?
First off, Robin, I think it's a shame that the House of Delegates has not been able to take seriously this threat to democracy, and I believe that's what gerrymandering is. I believe it's a threat to our democracy. Currently, as it stands, the party in power in the House of Delegates has the power to draw the districts, and they use very precise population data, and they're able to draw their districts to enhance their capacity to re-win elections, cycle after cycle. And so, in essence, politicians are choosing their voters, and voters are not choosing their politicians. And I believe, rather than having the folks who are benefiting from this system creating these districts, we need to create nonpartisan commissions that use nonpartisan criteria to establish districts. And I believe this process needs to be immediate, and I believe it needs to be transparent. By transparent, I mean the process has to be open to the public, and I believe that the public needs to have input into this. And I believe that this is not something that is just a Republican issue. It's wrong no matter what party is in charge. It's entirely possible that the Democrats will take the House of Delegates and the Senate in November, in which case I will still fight for fair redistricting, whether my party is in power or not.
Well, first of all, I'm a proponent of reforming redistricting. I don't like the process that we use. There are currently there's litigation before the Supreme Court, which has heard a redistricting case, and there's some in federal court. And depending on their rulings, it may change the way redistricting looks to all of us. Having said that, I think a better model would create more competitive districts, and I think that would be a good thing. I think we'd get better candidates. I think that we would have a much higher voter interest if these districts were more competitive. I will say this, I don't think that an independent panel is necessarily the right way to go, because I don't think you can find nonpartisan people anymore. And I do think it's a function of the legislature to do this. It should be more bipartisan than the process is currently. But I do think because legislators are answerable to the people, I think they're the ones who should make these decisions. But there's plenty of room for improvement in our redistricting process, and I'd like to see us do something about it.
Well, gerrymandering is definitely a huge issue in the United States, but definitely Virginia. You look at the map of the different districts, and you just wonder where they came from. It's very clear that partisan politics plays a big role in it, and it doesn't matter which party is in power and in the majority. They will use that to benefit themselves. And so I think that gerrymandering is a huge issue that we need to look at. We need to put that into an independent commission, or we could even try to use some algorithms. There's many other ways other than partisan or even bipartisan, I don't believe, would solve the issue. So I think the independent commission or algorithm, and we need to allow constituents to elect their officials, not the officials to elect their constituents.
The Woodrow Wilson Candidate Forum has been brought to you by the Peace and Financial Group, because we know the best choices are made when you have reliable, accurate information. At Peace and Financial, we work hard to ensure our clients make well-informed, smart financial decisions. Peace and Financial, with offices in Stanton and Charlottesville, wants to remind you that Tuesday, November 7th is Election Day.